What's up, y'all, and welcome to another beautiful Wheel Wednesday Behind the Wheel podcast. I am Luis from Koenig Wheels, and this is my esteemed colleague,
Rich from Koenig Wheels.
Damn, I was still doing the intro, bro. I was going to tell you, you're one of the illest dudes I know.
There we go.
There you go. Anyways, how are you doing, everyone? Thank you for joining us here for another Wheel Wednesday podcast where we talk about everything from car stuff to car culture to what we're doing in our lives and everything in between, as well as these cool-ass wheels that we have in the back here. Which is, what wheel is this, by the way? This wheel's fire, bro.
That is the Diverge.
Nice. Well, before we start this podcast, I just wanted to ask you, bro, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. What about yourself?
Good. I actually just came back from Las Vegas. For those of you who know, I actually do, aside from doing this car stuff and working here at cool-ass Koenig, I also am a b-boy. And I was actually out in Las Vegas where I got to do a breaking competition. And it was really fun, man. I had a good time. The one thing that I don't, well, and I mentioned this to you when we were having a conversation, Vegas, although I love the city and the people that are in it, it's one of those places that I could only go for a short amount of time, because eventually you start to feel the desperation in the air.
SEMA was my first time going to Vegas.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be more fun.
Yeah.
Like SEMA was cool, but I thought the town would be a little crazier, exotic, or whatever they make it out to seem. And it was kind of just like a giant casino in the middle of the desert.
Bro, it's so weird that
know?
you see. Yeah, exactly that. It's just one of those places where I think after a day, you're kind of just like, what are we doing here? Right. You know what I mean? It's like a giant playground.
You know what I noticed about Vegas while I was there is that they make all the buildings really nice inside. Yeah. But on the outside, everything kind of just looks like glum.
Well, and not only that, there's the one place that you can see Paris, you can see New York, you can see all these places.
Right.
It's the weirdest town ever. Yeah. Like, don't get it twisted. I had a great time. I love the people there, but you could just tell it's just an attraction thing for people to go to and exist there for a day and then go back home to wherever they live. So I had a great time. But besides that, how was your weekend, man?
Good, bro. Normal stuff.
Normal stuff?
Yeah.
I need that in my life, man.
Rest and relax, that type of thing.
Well, for those of you that are here that are new, make sure to subscribe and like our YouTube. Because you're here already, might as well as this Friday we're dropping another piece of content. We're doing sponsorship 401, I believe. We're actually up to there. The reason why we do these pieces of content is because we want you guys to be prepped up when it comes to sponsorship. A lot of you guys ask these type of questions to us when it comes to our Instagram and our social media. You're always asking us, what do I got to do to get sponsored? Well, we make these videos specifically for you to follow the format of what we think is the right way to get sponsored. And this could exist not only in the car world. You could use this when it comes to anything. If you're an athlete and you want to get sponsored by someone, this sponsorship series that we made is built to kind of give you the stepping stones of how to get to where you want to get to when it comes to sponsorship. Because we know that when we do these type of things that we love, sponsorships help us to kind of continue forward and make those dreams happen. So make sure that you follow the right formats. And my boy Scott, as well as Max, put some really cool stuff together for you guys so you guys can follow those formats from our perspective. But make sure that you do research further than that as well. It just doesn't only exist here. It's just a piece of content that helps you along the road. You know what I'm saying? But all right. Let's get to it. Some car news that I wanted to kind of talk about, and there's a lot of cool things going on in the car world. And one of the things that I learned today is that Akio Toyoda stepped down as CEO of Toyota.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
That sucks. Yeah. Sucks in a sense as the reason why I say it sucks is because this man, if you look at the grand scheme of all CEOs when it comes to automotive manufacturers, it's not all of them are car enthusiasts, but Akio Toyoda was actually the definition of a car enthusiast. Why do I say that? I actually learned today that he was one of the test drivers known as his alias, which is Morizo.
Morizo, right.
Yeah, so if you don't know, Marizo, that was his alias. He was actually test driving cars, and the reason why he did that is because he wanted to do the appropriate research to build us great cars. And he took that alias just so he can be in touch and in tune with when it comes to building these cars. And that's why, if you don't know, now you know. When it comes to the GR Corolla,
Marizo edition,
the Marizo edition was named after him because it's the most prestige package you can get when it comes to
completely race oriented.
Yeah. So I think it's one of those situations that is sad when you get to see someone who is it's an end of an era, man. You know what I mean? It's someone like him stepping down makes you realize that we're in a new phase when it comes to this automotive world. You know what I mean? We just did a whole podcast before where I think it was either me or you or Scott, where he was kind of just emphasizing that he wanted to push the hybrid market.
Yeah, that was us. Yeah, that was a little bit ago. Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, Toyota, Toyota's kind of come back on the map a little bit in terms of cars.
Absolutely.
I would say their entire lineup looks good.
Yes.
And it is just overall impressive, and they kind of shed the skin of the kind of boring Toyota repeat cars.
Yeah.
So, Toyota is the largest manufacturer for cars in the entire world.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a huge deal that someone, the CEO or, CEO, is that what he is? CEO?
Yeah, CEO, yeah.
Is stepping down from that position. And then, I don't know, I just feel like Toyota's getting cool again. Plus, they have the thing that we talked about with how they want to stay in the hybrid model rather than EV. All these things are all in line with probably his beliefs.
Yes.
And it's just a shame to see it go, but you just hope that the legacy lives on properly.
And that's the thing that, you're always fearful of as a car enthusiast, that when someone like this steps down, what does Toyota look like in the future? You know what I mean? And although and I emphasize this every time I come on this podcast and we talk about the EV market and what's going on and how they're pushing it and all that, I think that the model that Toyota was following, Kia was following, is the fact that he wanted to go into hybrid and then slowly creep into EV. I think that's the right way to do it. You know what I mean? Because we have so much years built in the internal combustion, and to kind of just say, hey, internal combustion, we're going all electric, is the wrong thing to do in my perspective. So what he was trying to do with the hybrid technology and kind of use that first so that we can learn a little bit more and then go into EV the appropriate way was the right way to do it. And I hope that continues to exist for Toyota, the automotive manufacturer. And I'm optimistic just because the person who ran GR apparently is going to be the new CEO of the company, which is kind of cool itself too. I mean, GR itself, the whole lineup of what they're doing over there is obviously Gazoo Racing is obviously something cool. So I think that they're going to continue following the footsteps of what Kia was doing, and I'm sure that they're going to do it with a lot more grace because I mean that GR Corolla and the GR Yaris and the GR86, all those cars are extremely fire to me. You know what I mean? They're one of the few lineup of cars that keeps the car enthusiasts alive in this car market from, you know what I mean? Because
especially in the Japanese segment where it was lacking for quite a while. It feels
exactly.
Like, but you have to imagine that Mr. Toyota, he chose a successor in a strategic manner. You would hope so. Kind of.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think so.
They put some guy who's a CFO or something, some kind of number cruncher in charge. Not going to do that.
Yeah, but sometimes that happens, man.
It does happen.
We've seen it a lot with these automotive manufacturers where they put someone in charge who is just like you call it, a number cruncher.
I don't know. I mean, it's just insane.
No, it's true. I know what you mean. It's just these people who are literally just trying to make money, and just forget about the fact that there's car enthusiasts who built this whole thing. Put it together.
Maybe not even car enthusiasts. There are people like my father. My father, like, he had a Toyota Camry, and this. He needed a new car. Yeah. And he just like, I just want another Camry.
Yeah.
He's not a car enthusiast. He just liked the car.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of reputation to uphold. And if someone doesn't have the same line of sight, that can kind of fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, and just like you said, at the end of the day, what you want in a CEO in general, when it comes to any company, is you want someone that cares about their people, and I think Akio did that really well. He had that good balance of like building economy cars and building like something like your father would want, where it's a reliable car. Toyota, if you think about it, Toyota is known to be a reliable car, long lasting. You know what I mean? It lasts over 200,000 miles each car. It never comes to your mind that it's not going to last longer than that. You know, when it comes to Honda,
As long as you take care of
Toyota,
it.
as long as you take care of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But and he did that happy medium where, as well as also being a car enthusiast and being able to say like, yo, we also have to make something for those people who want to go on the to push these cars to the limit. He had hands on on the build of the new Supra, although a lot of people aren't a fan of the new Supra just because it's a BMW based car. At the end of the day, in his lifetime, he wanted to make sure that we got that Supra once again.
Right. In the end, he made it happen.
He made it happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Although some of us aren't happy with it, me specifically, I think that car is fire.
I love that car.
Bro, I think in the test of time that Supra is going to live on for a long time, and people are going to eventually call it one of those last of the Mohican type of cars, you know?
Yeah, I get why people get upset about it, though, because people would prefer an in-house motor, designed by Toyota, especially a successor to the 2JZ. So, I get the sour
Yes,
taste
I get
there,
it. I
but
get it.
in the end, it's here.
Yes.
And it's great.
Yes.
Whether or not it's an in-house motor, it's a BMW, it's a Toyota, whatever it is, it's still a fantastic car.
It's a fire car.
Yeah, it's a great car.
It's a fire car, and I think it's going to stand the test of time. But again, I'm optimistic of what Toyota's going to bring to the future. I'm also optimistic of some of the, even if let's say this dude, Sato, just says, you know what, I want to go full EV, I think that Toyota still will stand the test of time when it comes to building something really cool. And yeah, man, it's just one of those things that,
Speaking of the EV stuff, Max brought up to us the thing about how they were trying to map out times with living, like real life living with EV vehicles during like long-term trips. And they were saying stuff like, the fast chargers and stuff like that are few and far between. So if you have an EV car and you got to charge it on a long road trip or something like that, like this you have to add on extra hour, 2 hours onto your trip to accommodate for charging. So this is what you don't think of. There's so little amounts of chargers out there.
Yeah.
So if you have to drive to a charger, and then the bays aren't empty, you have to wait for someone to charge their car, then you have to wait for them to charge, and then you got to wait for you to charge.
Yeah.
These people think you just stroll up and you get charging, but there's not that many of them. So if they're taken on the interstate or whatever it is, you're gonna be there a while.
My assumption of all this in general at this point, I'm not talking about the future. At this point, if I were to own a Tesla or own an EV at this moment and say I'm gonna go do a long trip, like a road trip,
Right.
It's non-existent for me. I would never take a car. I would never take an EV on a road trip, just because I already know that there is not the infrastructure when it comes to EVs does not exist yet. You know what I mean? So whoever's taking these cars on long trips is poorly planning what they're doing in their lives. But I also think that, yes, as time progresses, we have to take this into account, make sure that we're consistently building an infrastructure so that these cars can go on these long-term trips. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it doesn't even have to be for leisure. There's if we want this to exist, this EV market to exist, there's a lot of people who are doing business trips who need to go because they can't fly. It's cheaper to drive a car. And if they have an EV and we don't have an infrastructure built for them, then that whole thing doesn't exist. And now you're making people lose money.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think, yes, in the long term, I hope that we build more charging stations. I have been on trips where down to like the Pennsylvania area and stuff like that, where you do see that they do exist. There are charges, but then you go to the next stop and they're not there.
Yeah, I mean, it seems good on paper and stuff like that, but could you imagine, like, maybe you've been driving for 6-7 hours.
Yeah.
And I would assume you have to charge somewhere in between that, but still, you've been driving a long time, and like you really just want to get to your destination. You're running on low battery, and you're just like, I gotta charge for the last 30 miles. Like I have to charge, and you're so close. Say you're potentially an hour away, 45 minutes away, and you're just like, you know what? Now I gotta plug in and sit here for another 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And now imagine that. Now imagine you get there and they're not open, and you gotta wait even longer.
And that's the same reason why I don't have.
Look at like lines like this at the charging bays, like that. I'm sure they deal with that in California all the time.
100%.
Especially
California people. No disrespect, my Cali people, but you guys are very woke. With all love. I get it. But at the end of the day, it's like that's just the truth. Right now, this is the reason why EV cars are not in my vicinity of how I function, because a lot of the cars that I have, specifically my daily, I buy it for function. I buy it to get from A to B. You know, if I want to go on a trip somewhere, my internal combustion car can get filled up with gas when I need it to be.
I think I would like a little like a new innovation of the smart car, like a ridiculous half car 2-seater, and just like charge it from your outlet in your house.
Well, so and that's
short commutes to work and stuff like that. If that applies to you,
yes,
that'd be cool.
As a secondary car right now, yes, I would get an EV. I think
a little one though, like something that wouldn't like, you know, I don't know, just for me. It's only me driving it.
Yeah, you can't get in. No one else gets in.
No one else. It's just my personal thing to save some money on. I drive around casually, and then I have a car on the weekend.
Jen, get out of here. I would be like, Emily, you know what? This is my shit. Get out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know? Yeah, I get it.
They should make something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, but the smart car is a piece of junk, so, you know.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, that's exciting stuff. Yeah, I think the infrastructure is just not there yet. But hopefully down the line, it's something that we build on. It's something that we get to do. You know, I think the EV market is a very interesting type of thing, not for car enthusiasts as well. Just because I love, you know, as a car person, I love when, not me, but in general, when you're able to pull apart things, create new things, make aftermarket parts for it. All of a sudden now you have a new car that you're building. Like a lot of these guys, like our last Carnatomy, my boy Kendall Samuels, is literally, that's not an STI anymore. That's a supercar, bro. This man has an 800 horsepower STI. I mean, I would love to see that when it comes to the EV market, that someone does that with a Tesla or a Rivian or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden now we're pushing these cars to the limit, you know, making them less heavier, you know, things like that we figure out in the car enthusiast world as engineers, because there's so many engineers in the car market, and we're consistently making better and more innovative things. But we have to start with an infrastructure where we can charge these motherfuckers. Because if we don't have that, we ain't going nowhere, bro, with these cars. You know what I mean?
Looking at the videos on the screen, it must be so funny to be amongst a crowd of people and just like quiet, super fast car going 160 miles an hour. Just
it's like one of those silent farts.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, it just swings by you. Like kind of takes away from the excitement a little bit, the lack of sound.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. You know what's funny? Travis Reeder in Formula Drift used to have Chevy Zeo 01 or something.
Zeo 6?
Zeo 6.
Okay.
But it was electric. So it literally all you heard was
Dang.
like, it was like so kind of like not the move, you know, because when you go to drift, if any of you ever been to a drift event, you go there for the experience. You go for your chest to be rattled, you know what I mean? Or the smoke to hit you in the face. When this man was driving this car, although he was doing a great job with the car, there was no excitement to it. It literally took, if I saw a bunch of electric cars drifting, that would be the time where I would go to the bathroom or grab a beer, you know what I mean? Like,
it's like watching a movie with no sound.
Literally, literally. I mean, it's cool, you know, but I think, you know, that's what we were even talking about when it came to the what was it? The Chevy, the we did the podcast about the Chevy Corvette, the new one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
E-Ray.
Even though I think it's weird to add noises to cars.
Wow,
now I see it.
Is this true?
Now I understand that when you see that.
The Lucid and the Tesla
you,
are smoking a Bugatti.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, the innovation for these things is insane.
Instant power delivery, right? That's what it's all about.
That's what I'm trying to. These cars are no joke.
The Bugatti's coming back. There you go. That's torque right there.
But and I'm excited for it. Don't get it twisted, bro. See, why do they got to do all that? You know, come on, this car.
This is like the commercial. It's a horrible commercial. It's very hard hidden. Do you guys remember the commercial with the always wear your seatbelt type of thing, and they do that?
No.
Oh, do you never see the guy? They go to an intersection. The guy's speeding, and right before the accident, it pauses, and they get out of the car, and they're just like, he's like, "Don't do this, man. I got kids at home or something." And he's like, "I'm sorry, it's too late." And they both get back in their cars, and the cars collide. It's like a really hard-hitting commercial to wear your seatbelt. That was just like that. That's where they got that from. I guarantee it.
All right, way to bring it down there.
I didn't bring it down. This is it. Well, no, that's not it. But
well, that's even scarier.
That's even scarier. But no, the other commercial, it's a really good commercial. That's great marketing.
This is a perfect segment for the next conversation I want to have, which is traffic cameras in New York are listening for illegal sounds.
Right.
When it comes to vehicles.
That's crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
So basically, we read this article right here. It's up on the screen, and basically what it is that they don't want to divert. I don't know. I guess police attention to stopping loud vehicles, so they're gonna do an automated system based on sound to give people tickets.
So bear with me, because this is all stuff I've written down from reading this article as well, and some of the things that I've learned. So, these are traffic cameras that are going to have sound meters. Now, the fines that you can get for violating the sound, whatever the hell it is, can go up to $2,625.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? These are for loud bikes and cars. So basically, these traffic cameras are going to be able to sense the loudness of your exhaust or whatever it may be. And if it's too loud, if it's deemed to be too loud, the city of New York is going to send you a ticket and say you have to pay for this. And it's going to be now more expensive. And the reason why they're doing this is because the laws that we have in place now, a lot of these police officers in the road don't give a crap. You know what I'm saying? They have bigger fish to fry.
Well, everyone's got loud. There's tons of loud exhaust in motorcycles and dirt bikes in New York City. So it's hard to keep a track of everyone. But what I don't get about this system is that like a speeding camera or a red light camera, you know how that works. The camera is positioned in a spot where if you do one or the other, it takes a photo of your car.
Yeah.
If it's going off a sound, are they going to have to link up sound and a camera in position? So, like, if you drive by the microphone or whatever picks up on the sound, and then it goes off in decibel rating, is there a camera further forward that will definitely catch that particular car? Because how are they going to know what car set it off?
Bro, that's...
What if you have two cars right next to each other, and one's loud as hell, and the other one is a EV?
It's discrimination, bro. It's going to be like, oh, that's a Dodge Charger? He's getting the ticket, and then you realize it was actually the
old Accord.
The old Accord that had
or a straight pipe Sonata or something.
Now there's gonna be like T-shirts, like, you know what I'm saying?
Wasn't
like
me.
Yeah, bro.
Man.
But this is the one thing that I was talking to with when we were previously talking about this. Look, I get it. People live in these cities. They sleep and all that, but you have to understand. New York City is very small. When you choose to move into a condensed location...
Wait, you say very small?
Yeah, it's small. In small comparison to, like,
it's the
grand scheme of the land of the world, my bro.
Oh, okay, but... yeah, grand scheme of the land of the world is the second biggest city in the country.
Yes, but I'm saying look, at the end, yes, population is big there and all that. But the thing is when you come to move to New York, you don't sit there and say, I want to live in a quiet city. Right. No, you're moving to a condensed location where it's the biggest city in the world. I'm talking about like most known city in the world. It's the Mecca of the world. I would say arguably is the Mecca of the world.
Top 5.
It's not the Mecca of the world? What's more famous than New York City?
I don't know.
Bangkok? Like, what do we got here, bro?
Dubai? I don't know.
No way, bro. Like, New York is the center of the world. It's just, I would say that.
And Earth is the center of the solar system.
All right. It is. But what I'm trying to say is when you come and move to New York, the fact that you're complaining about noise is insane to me. Every time I go into New York City, all I hear is, and I promised myself I would make this noise. All you hear is sirens, like, like it's consistent. New York City is just a loud place.
Can we go one more of those?
Huh?
There we go.
When you move to New York, bro, and you're complaining about sound, it's like, why did you move there in the first place? Move the hell out. Go to Long Island, where I live, bro, where it's quiet. I like where I live. I purposely
tell everyone to go to Long Island, and they're all gonna come. It's not gonna be quiet anymore. That's how this works.
Well, that's devil's advocate here, bro. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, yo, you want to get less complaints, you got to move around. Go if you don't want to come to Long Island.
The real answer is everyone should continue to move to LA.
Vermont, bro. Go anywhere, bro. Go to freaking Max's favorite place. What is it?
Idaho.
No, this man talks about that.
He's gonna get mad at us for blowing it up.
Yo, he was like, yo, don't tell anybody.
Yeah, you can't tell anyone. You can't tell anyone about Idaho.
It's the gem of the world. Idaho's the best. Shh.
Oh, man.
But, yo, there's so many beautiful places around the United States. For people to be complaining about sound in the most condensed, most popular city in the world, to me, is insane.
To me.
And the fact that we actually have to have these type of arguments, like there's literally something that's called the Stop Loud and Excessive Exhaust Pollution Act.
Sleep Act.
The Sleep Act. It's insane, bro.
Yeah. Well, so at the end of the article that they're talking about the sound tickets is a person that's petitioning not to enforce this for not because he wants to have a loud thing and be a menace to society, but he was saying that for bike riders, motorcycle riders, that
Yes.
the loud noise saves lives, and that's
Yes.
true. How many times have you come on, everyone drives crazy in New York.
Yep.
So how many times have you ever seen a motorcycle heard a
Yep.
motorcycle coming, and not to switch lanes right then because they're coming and they're gonna pass by and they're gonna be out of your life in half a second.
Yep.
So if that guy wasn't able to have that kind of volume of noise, you wouldn't know that's happening. Probably more accidents would probably occur.
Yeah.
So he's concerned for his safety, and he says it's a prevention for accidents. And I think it's a really good point.
I think there's so many sides to this. I think at the end of the day, it comes to just Now remember these what was I gonna say? My ideologies doesn't always co-align with what's going on in Koenig, so don't take my word as Koenig's words. What I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, sometimes it's a political thing, and I think they're just trying to get more money out of us. Yes, I said it. What's up? Mic drop.
Well, yeah, I mean, New York gives out tickets like it's taxes, So
Yeah, man, it's just crazy. I think it's just and this leads into what happened to me personally, which I was telling these guys about. What's funny? So Philly is about, for those who don't know, Philly is about an hour and a half, an hour 45 minutes, 2 hours, depending on traffic, from New York City. So I go there every so often for visiting friends or whatever, whatnot. And bro, I'm gonna tell you this. So I parked at a place where there was the sign that said that it was a handicap parking spot. Was not, I couldn't tell. And one of the things I try to be is very honest about some of the things that I deal with. You know what I mean? So I looked around. I was like, all right, it seems like I could park here. Apparently, there was another sign. There was a sign, but it was faced the other direction, so I didn't see it. But basically, I come back to my car. My car's gone. Car's completely gone. It got towed. I'm sitting there like, what the hell? What happened to my car? Even the pedestrians of Philadelphia were like, yo, man, we tried to stop them. It's just how Philadelphia is. They're really bad about traffic stuff over here and whatnot. So I'm like, whatever. At the end of the day, it happens. I understand as a citizen of the world that these things happen. I'm willing to pay to get my car out of this situation because I am a citizen of the world, or the United States in this juncture. So I go to pick up my car, bro. Literally, it cost me about $475 just because I parked in a handicap spot. To me, that is insane that it costs that much money. Imagine the person who doesn't have that type of money. Now all of a sudden, you're living in Philly. Bro, you're going to live in Philly. That's it. You're living in Philly for the next couple until you can raise that money. Or you're taking a bus. I don't know what the hell they want you to do. You got to get a job in Philly. Like, look, I'm all for reform. I'm all for what is it, like paying for things that you need to, things that you've done wrong, whatever the hell, for tickets and stuff like that, so that it supports the city and all that. But sometimes I feel like these cities take advantage of what we're doing as a normal person, the advantage of the working man, you know what I mean? And it just sucks, you know what I mean? It sucks that we have to deal with these certain situations. Back to, i.e., the loud noise situation. You live in a large city, of course there's going to be loud noises. Like this doesn't apply to this loud noise doesn't apply to the countless amount of police sirens and what are the emergency what is it? Where they pick up the people and then put them in there when they're hurt.
Ambulance.
There you go. I couldn't think of it. Yeah, like this doesn't apply to them, bro. That's all I ever hear when I go in the city is those sounds. You know what I mean? So, but it doesn't apply to them. It
literally doesn't apply to them.
That's what I'm saying. Which is, it's fair. I get it. They're doing the job, but at the end of the day, I hear that more than I hear loud cars.
Yeah.
In the city.
Yeah, I think it's a shame though, because I think a lot of the complaints, you can't drive really fast throughout the city. I mean, people do, but like the city's so condensed that like literally you can't drive that fast.
Oh no.
Without hitting traffic in a quarter mile.
Exactly.
So like, when people are complaining about the loud noise, I know for sure what it's about. It's about the groups of people who go around on the dirt bikes
Yep.
and the ATVs and stuff like that, and those things are loud.
Oh, loud.
Like
yeah.
like super loud. And now people with maybe a slightly modified exhaust, or just maybe like you were saying, like even a car like the Elantra N that has a stock exhaust that has some sound to it. Even those cars are gonna get lumped in with the crazy people with the dirt bikes and stuff like that. I mean, the sound is not the same. It's not the same kind of I don't know, nuisance.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
now it's all getting lumped together.
Yeah, but it is what it is. It's just like you said. We have to deal with the consequences. I don't know how real this is. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's an article.
Yeah.
Things that may be happening or maybe not be happening. You know, I noticed that a lot. You know what I mean? When it comes to automotive news, that it's just something that is in conversation.
Mhm.
You know, but at the end of the day, it is just disheartening to see that the conversation's even happening. You know, but maybe there is an in between in how we can fix those certain types of situations, and yeah, that's my take on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
But on to the next. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us on another Behind the Wheel podcast, where you get to hear me and my boy Rich just rant about stuff that's going on in the world, as well
Mhm.
as tell you what's going on here at Koenig. Make sure to tune in every Wednesday here, where we have a new podcast where we talk about new things. Maybe we have a guest on. Maybe we're doing some wheel giveaways. Who knows? Also, make sure to tune in at 2 p.m. Eastern time, where we go live on our Instagram. And basically, we just answer any of the questions that you have. If you have a question about wheels, we answer. If you have a question about a Keo, we'll answer it there, because we don't really know anything, but we'll give you the best of our knowledge of what we know. And yeah, just make sure to tune in on there.
Friday content.
And then on Friday, we drop a piece of content every Friday, where it's something car related when it has to do with Koenig and all that stuff. So yeah, make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you there. But thank you guys so much. Have a good one, and have a happy Wednesday. Peace.
Take care.